Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Mariane, and in today's video I'm going to show you my September planner setup in my A5 Filofax Domino Soft in the color Orchid. Let's get started. So I use tab stickers to help me allocate or locate the correct page. So I use the Carpe Diem tab stickers. So a few of them already have the month, and then there are some that are blank. And I used my Dymo label maker to coordinate my tabs. So here's September, and then there is a blank one, and I used my label maker to make a September budget tab for my budget by paycheck worksheet. So let's go. So let's go to September. Now I created this monthly cover using watercolor painting right onto the paper. This is 120 GSM paper, and I actually had to glue a second page to it, not because it bled through or was ghosting, but because I actually made an error on the monthly page, so I wanted to cover that up. I didn't like the marker that I used for September. It just didn't go with the spring coloring. It was more autumny. So that is why I have two pages glued together. Maybe next time, if I do another watercolor painting, I'd paint on a separate piece of paper and then glue it on. But I like the handmade effect of it. I was quite nostalgic about bullet journaling. I did bullet journaling from 2017 to 2019, and I miss that creative aspect of it, of updating or changing your monthly cover on a monthly basis. So I just printed out I don't know if you can see that, you may not be able to see, dotted pages or dotted grid onto A4 paper, and then cut it in half to make A5. So that's my September monthly cover for my planner. This painting, I followed Jay Lee's painting. I'll add the link to his YouTube channel below, and he does some really good beginner tutorial for watercolor painting. So that's my monthly cover. Then we move on to my calendar spread. So what I did is I really made the boxes quite as big as possible to take up a lot of the space, just leaving a nice header for your month, and any decorative things you want to add, like washi tapes or stickers, and just a little column on the left hand side for anything that might come up throughout the month that you need to remember, or that you might want to migrate to the following month. Again, I used, I think, Carpe Diem stickers. I'm trying to move the light so it's not so bright. Carpe Diem's numbers sticker pad, and it has a lot of different numbers, little flags, circle numbers, big and small. So that's what I used for my calendar. And then all the other stickers that I have, I'll show you. I quite like the Carpe Diem stickers because the width of it fits nicely within the width of my calendar as well as my weekly planner. So what I have is a Planner Basic sticker tablet, budget sticker tablet, Bloom stickers, and then the mini sticker tablet in Bloom and Good Vibes. and I bought these from Officeworks. I'll put a link, and some of them I bought also from Washi Gang. I'll have the links below, so if you wanted to check them out if you are in Australia. And so that's where a lot of the stickers are from. And I've added in the Budget Mum Savings Challenges 2021 individual challenges for the month of September, paydays, when bills come out, and just some other stickers to decorate the page, and again some washi tapes. I don't actually have color coding for any of the planner spreads I have because I'm not very good at color coding, so I just put whatever colors will go, and I just pick, you know, what looks good. I'll take it off the sticker pad, and then if it doesn't look as good, I'll place it back and find something else that might have a better coordination with what's already there. So that's my calendar spread. The next spread I have, I created this the other day. I have my habit tracker. Normally, let me just get that. I have my habit tracker in my pocket Malden, hope I'm saying that right. And I have a habit tracker tab here. This fold out habit tracker pocket planner insert is from Peanut Planner Co. And it's quite nice because then you can see a bird's eye view. Oh look, matches my eye strap Apple Watch sports band. You can see the bird's eye view of how you're going for the month. So that was July, and this is currently August. And so because I'm actually referring to my A5 planner a lot throughout the day, as it's always open on my desk, I thought I'd move my habit tracker to my A5 and created this one inspired by the previous habit trackers that I did in my bullet journal. If you follow me on Instagram, I did a recent post of all the different habit trackers I had. I'm gonna just change the brightness because I think it might be too bright. Okay. So habit tracker, I've written down all my daily habit trackers. Morning ones are my 5-second journal, my 5-year journal, reading, meditating, prepping our homeschool lessons for the day, and so on. And I used to do it, but I haven't been for a while. But my mood, when I did do it, you can really see a good trend of, how my mood is up and down. So it'd be really good to track it again. So then when it does dip, I'm able to prep myself. So then if I know that I get, cranky or angry or sad or whatever towards a particular week of the month, then I'll make sure that I prep myself with a lot of, well-being goals for that week. So then I don't sort of sink into an anxious moment where I just sit on the couch and don't do anything. So I want to track my mood again. The other things that I've been working on for the last, I think, 6-7 weeks, so it's at 3 months, is the number of hours sleep I have. On average before, I would survive on 3 to 4 hours of sleep at night. I do nap, after dinner, but then of course that doesn't help my health and my well-being, because if I'm trying to work out and then I'm not sleeping well from a lot of the what are they called, physical trainers, fitness trainers, they say that of course sleep and is very important into losing weight. So I'm trying to average out at least 7+ hours on a regular basis. I have been doing that for the last 3 to 4 weeks. I have dipped down again because I've taken on a new project of making macrame projects, so I'm quite eager to do that, so I forget to sleep. So I want to make sure I do keep an eye on my sleeping pattern, so I'm not you know, burning the candles at both ends. So that's my new habit tracker in my A5 planner. And then we move on to my well-being planner spreads. This has helped me quite a lot since I started to implement this in my planning routine. So on the left hand side page, hang on, I just got to tell my son to stop bouncing on the trampoline for a little bit. On the left hand side page, I create 3 main goals for the week depending on the 7 areas of my wheel of life that focus on, you know, a good balance for the week. That's, you know, reading, meditating, act of kindness, reaching out to family and friends, especially during this time for us here in Sydney where we are in lockdown and will be until the end of September. You know, working on my side hustle, helping the family financially while I am at home and homeschooling my youngest, of course working out, and also looking after our finance by budget and saving. So let's have a look at a completed well-being planner. And so this was from August 16th to the 22nd, and this is what a completed one looks like. Based on how I did from the previous week on my 7 areas of focus, I will create 3 priority goals for that new week. So for example, the kindness, act of kindness, I just got to be more intentional and make sure that, you know, I'm being nice to my family, my husband and my 2 young sons. I do take it for granted that, you know, they're always so lovely to me, and looking after mum as I'm the only girl. And so I think I want to make sure that I am, you know, looking after them as well by just doing nice little things for them that's out of the ordinary. The other thing, of course, is my working out. I want to try and lose, you know, a kilo or 2. So then I think I'll feel better when I, you know, try on the current clothes I have and look at myself in the mirror. And meditation has helped me a lot into focusing and making sure that I don't sink into my anxious thoughts, and sleep tracker, and of course the habit tracker for those 7 areas. On the right hand side this is based on Mel Robbins' 5-second journal, where, you know, you want to make sure that you commit the first few minutes or half hour of your time after you wake up to yourself, and not check your phone and, you know, have the rest of the world's agenda put upon you even before you start the day. So I write down how I feel. Why do I feel that way? What can I do to make myself feel better? And what I'm grateful for. And the great thing with this is, because it's just a small box to write into, it's not a chore. You know, you don't have to write an essay on how you feel. I mean, you can if you want to. You know, you can take an extra page and write down a lovely journal, or have extra planners. A good reason to get more planners. But yeah, because of the small boxes, you know, it's sweet, sharp and short, and it really sort of like lets you focus. And because you have to refer to this daily, it really sort of reminds me, well, have I done what I said I wanted to do to make myself feel better? In this instance, I put little stickers on the days when I have accomplished what I wanted to do to make myself feel better. It doesn't happen all the time. And of course, what you're grateful for. Always when I write things down here, when I'm writing the sentence, I always happen to have a smile on my face, and I think that's what the whole purpose is of, you know, writing down and thinking about what you're grateful for, because we do get bogged down with all the things we have to do, the worries we have, but it's good to just reflect back on what it is that's good in our lives. This is sort of like the other habit trackers for the week. So even though I do have the monthly one, it's good to have, well, for me anyway, it's good to have the habit tracker on a weekly basis. I've said this to a few of my followers on Instagram, where it's nice to do it on a weekly basis, you know, whether it's goals or habit tracking. So then if there are certain areas, like here for example, you know, I haven't been doing my skincare at night, haven't gone to bed, you know, by 10:30 that I wanted for me to be able to achieve the 7+ hours, I can pivot and, you know, work on it the following week rather than waiting a month. And if you're like me, I'm great for the first week of the month or maybe a week and a half, and then, you know, I drop the ball later, you know, throughout the month, and I'll just sort of, well, I'll start again in the new month. So this is a good way to just reset after 7 days rather than 30 or 31 days. So this is what my I call it the 5-second journal, based on, I said, Mel Robbins' 5-second journal methodology. And there's my habit tracker. So this is my A5 weekly well-being planner spread, well-being spread. And it is available in my Etsy store as a separate page. And then after that, I've got my weekly spread. So I've got the 7 columns for the 7 days. I have a little box, so let me show you what it looks like unfilled. So this is for next week. So you've got room for your days of the week. I have left space because I wanted to either, you know, hand write or with stickers the dates of the week, and so you can embellish that. You can put washi tape. I have a little grid. Let me just show that a little bit closer. A grid at the top for your top priority for the day. So if the whole day is busy, but you've set yourself that 1 to 3 highlight or priority, if you accomplish just that, then you've had a good day. So that's a top priority there. And then I have a time blocking column for each day from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. And again, enough space on the left-hand side and at the bottom if you wanted to add notes along throughout the week, or you want to add some stickers. So this is my current setup for next week. I have it color-coded, so pink is for me stuff, so that's AM routine, PM routine. Blue for homeschooling, who's my youngest son, Zach, who's on the autism spectrum, and I've been homeschooling him since May 2019. Purple is cleaning, you know, family and home stuff. Orange here is my side hustle, so I'm going to try and schedule, you know, my projects, so then that way, once it's done, I've committed on it at that time and I'm not working into the wee hours of the night. I'll try and see if I can do that, because I haven't been able to achieve that yet. So that's my planner bundle. I've got the cover page dotted space. You can, you know, draw your own little drawings. So many great bullet journal accounts that you can follow, and they do their plan with me every month, so you can embellish that. I've got the calendar spread, I've got the habit tracker spread, well-being planner spread, and the weekly. And I have 5 of those for the month. And then, so then, you know, you don't have the blank page at the end. I have also then created the dotted pages for brain dumping. So any new thoughts that come throughout the week, and you don't want to ruin your pages by writing down notes, you can just scribble and cross off, make lots of mistakes, so you can do brain dump there. And then the back page is just any notes you want to take. So extra pages for you to add anything along the way. So that is my September A5 planner set up so far for the first week. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. It makes me happy when I get notifications of new subscribers, so I appreciate you for stopping by and taking the time to watch my little videos and me blab on. If you haven't subscribed yet, it would be lovely if you could, and like this video, and if you want to get notified of when I upload new videos, just hit the bell button, and I will see you again next time. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye bye.